Welcome everyone. I am so glad to be here this morning, June the 2nd, to guide you through some truly fascinating aspect of our body in a simple way without medical jargons. So today we are going to explore how your body protects you. Ever wondered what happens when you get a cold, how your body is, turning this microscopic war strategy at the back end? Ever wondered what happens in your body? Right, there is some sneezing happening, there is some mucus coming out and all of that, right? And believe it or not, summer is the time to really help your body get prepared for the winter. It's not at the start of the winter, it's actually through the summer, right? So we are going to today talk about how your immune system works, not including any medical jargons to the extent possible. We are actually going to look at how your home is set up and kind of understand how your body is like your home, protecting you from any intruders that can get into your body. Okay, so that's the topic of today, and as usual at the end of our class we do have a recipe to make and taste. It's mashed chickpea salad today. All through the summer, because heat is high, I usually get to hear that I don't want to turn on the oven, I don't want to turn on the stove. So all through this month, my objective is to bring in super easy salads that will speak to your immune system so that you're all ready and set with a much better immune system come winter comes. So that's my objective for today's class and also for some of the upcoming classes. I do have some cool tools here that our divas here will get to roll sometime during the class. So if you are sitting at home and watching this video, please come to the in-person class. I always bring some cool stuff to help you experience it, right? So with that, I want to invite you to understand how your body is this wonderful system taking care of you every step of the way. So your home is that safe, warm, resourceful place, right? So similarly, your body is also that safe, warm, resourceful place. So to help you understand what your body has as weapons and armor to take care of you, I want to bring in the analogy of your home. Your home does have walls, does have doors, does have windows. Your walls are very strong unless somebody is going to come down with, what do they call that big huge equipment that comes and pushes down constructions. Unless it is that, it's going to stand there really strong, protecting your home from any intruders, any burglars, any pests. Yeah, right. And so your walls, your doors keeps intruders out. And similarly, in our body, we do have our skin that's very tough. It's waterproof, right? And it helps keep us away from the germs, right? And at the beginning, I asked you about those mucous membranes, our tears, saliva, the stomach acid. Those are all chemicals, though they are slimy, they have some acid in it. They do have chemicals called lysosomes, which really help break those bacteria or viruses that might escape the wall and get into your body. So those mucus layer, the saliva, the tears, you can actually parallel them to the weather stripping that you might have in your home, right? So the walls, the doors, the windows are the first physical barriers, and inside that you have the weather stripping, or you might have some something there to keep those small bugs away. So there is a clear analogy or a parallel between how the walls and doors protect your home and the skin and mucous membranes. Secondly, say somebody gets into your home, we all have alarm systems in our home to send out that siren, right? Beep, 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 right? So that helps detect break-ins. So similarly, we will get into these layers of our immune system. We have something called innate immune system, and these are the first responders that really help take care of any bugs that get into our system. Now, say there is a place where there is high propensity of burglars or intruders. There is usually a security team that is trained to respond to specific threats. So similarly, in our body, we have something called adaptive immune system that really learns from past attacks, from past diseases, and actually builds those weapons to protect our body from any future similar diseases. And then in our home, that kitchen is a place where everything, all the food that comes into our home passes through the kitchen, and I'm sure you would have some system to check the food that is coming in. Is it moldy? Is it, is the best by use date passed? So similar to the kitchen inspection, in our body, we do have something called GALT. I know there are some medical jargons that have come into my presentation, but that's for a reason. GALT is actually gut-associated lymphoid tissue, and that's where most of our immunity rests. Around 70 to 80% of our immunity actually rests in our gut, and that's why taking care of your gut health is of utmost importance, because it really helps boost your immunity. So just like your well protected home, our body also has multiple layers of defense that is actually protecting you 24/7, right? So let's get into the innate immune system, the first for the second aspect that I discussed here. So innate immune system is something that all of us are born with. It doesn't need any training. However, it is very generic, meaning any virus, any bacteria, any dust that might get into our system is first handled by the innate immunity. As I mentioned, it doesn't need any training. It actually kicks in as soon as an intruder gets into your system, right? So in addition to the skin and mucous membrane, I'm sure we all have heard about inflammation. That inflammation is that alarm going off, and it will cause some redness, some swelling, a little bit of fever, or your temperature rising up. Those are all responses that your immune system is doing so that it can get the intruder out of your system. And I'm sure each of us would have heard about white blood cells. And if you go and look up your labs, the complete blood count will have an entry called WBC. Okay, so in one of our sessions this month, I will, bring up a lab report and help you go through your entries so that you can understand the immune system of your body. So white blood cells are again those first responders that really come in to take care of any intruders that are coming into your system. Any questions so far that I can address? All sounds good? That home and your body analogy, is kind of helping you there, right? So let's get into the external, the first layer, which is the walls and the doors. As I mentioned, it's your skin, which covers your entire body. Any germ cannot get through those unless there is a cut or there is a bruise. Your mucous membranes, they layer all through your nose, your throat, and even your gut to some extent. And it's that sticky lining, and they do have some chemicals there to help actually, kill any of the germs that might come in. And as I mentioned, there are also those chemical defenses, which is basically your stomach acid, tears, saliva, anything liquid. They do have enzymes called lysozymes that help destroy the germs. So that's that first layer. The second layer, the inflammation, the alarm system. Redness is usually more blood getting into that place with, the immune cells ready to fight off that intruder that has come in. The swelling brings in fluid to that place with those white blood cells, the neutrophils, the lymphocytes, and all those categories of white blood cells. The heat, the temperature in our body goes up so that we are able to fight that intruder, and pain actually brings in attention. Of course, there is a limit to all of that, and that's when when those symptoms go beyond a certain level, you're encouraged to seek medical attention, right? So whenever there is some redness or some swelling or some heat or some pain, it just tells you that your immune system is working. Of course, there is a limit to it, and when that limit is crossed, there is a threshold, and then you do really need to get medical attention. Now that's the first layer, right? The innate immunity, the immunity that you are born with. Say, an intruder got into your system, a bacteria or a virus got into your system, and the first level of, the first responders were not able to take care of. That's when the second layer, which is called your adaptive immunity, gets in. I love these the visuals in here that really helps you, help your brain think a little bit. So when innate immunity, which is that immunity that you are born with, is not able to take care of the intruders, the second level, which is that detective agency, arrives, and these are actually trained professionals, trained immune cells that actually look at the intruder with that magnifying glass, see who that is, right, and actually create custom weapons, which are basically, custom cells that can actually target those specific intruders and destroy them. Now the problem with the adaptive immunity is it does take a few days to get started because these are specialized teams, so they need time to actually see what has come in and then develop those weapons to take care of those intruders. So it is definitely slower to start. It takes a few days to kick in, but the cool thing is, these adaptive immune cells do have memory, meaning they take a mug shot of the intruder and they kind of understand if a similar intruder comes back, then I do have weapons ready. I don't have to wait for 3 or 5 days to actually take care of this intruder. So if you are a curious mind, that's what vaccines usually do. They give you, a picture of the potential intruder so that these adaptive immune cells can get trained and develop, the weapons to actually kill those viruses and bacteria that might present later. So this is the second level of immunity, and these are basically the specialized security team. They do take a little while to get their ammunitions in place, but however, once they understand the intruder, they are able to take a picture of it and file it away so that come the next time when similar intruders come in, it's easy for your body to take care of those intruders. Now there are two types of detectives or this adaptive immune cells that I really want to mention at the surface level so that you know what they are. T cells and B cells. T cells are usually the detectives, and there are two types of T cells. One is the helper T cell, the other one is the killer T cell. The helper T cell acts as the team captain, and it really directs the immune cells to where the intruder is. The killer T cells actually produce, those proteins which will go and directly destroy the intruder or the infected cell, as the case may be, right? So just like how detectives could identify a burglar and call the right backup, these T cells are actually doing that job to keep your home, which is your body, safer, okay? The B cells can be looked at as record keepers. As I mentioned just a few minutes before, these are cells that can take, shots of or pictures of the intruders and actually remember that, just like the face of that burglar, and respond faster the next time they come in, they might come and intrude your body, right? So again, this could be a security team, and if they know that a specific area is prone to a specific type of intrusion, they can actually train that team so that when an instance happens, it's easier for them to respond. So T cells and B cells are actually immune cells, adaptive immune cells in your body that really help train for the same situation that might present again. And an example that comes here is, if you get a cold, right, somebody else also might get a cold in your home, but you don't get that cold again, right, because your body has developed immunity, and then the viruses from your family member will not get affected on you again, because your body already knows how to fight against it. So to kind of summarize here between the innate and adaptive immune system, the innate system is something that you are born with. You can look at innate immune system as the walls, the locks, the alarms in your home. The adaptive immune system is like the detective agency or a security team that could be called in. Your innate immune system acts immediately, right? As soon as the dust goes into your nose, you would sneeze and get that dust out, whereas the adaptive immunity is slow. It sometimes takes days or weeks to actually form that adaptive immunity, and that's why they say that if you are someone who takes flu shots, it might take at least 3 weeks for your body to build that immunity. So that's that adaptive immunity forming there. With regards to innate immunity, it's not specific, it's very generic. It fights all invaders, whereas adaptive immunity, it is targeted. It looks at a specific germ or an invader, and it will design specific tools to actually attack that specific invader. Your innate immunity has no memory, whereas your adaptive immunity does remember and file away those past invaders, so that if similar invaders present again, it is easier for it to, take care of that intruder. Are you born with it? Innate immunity, you are born with it. Adaptive immunity, it takes time to build. It actually builds over your lifetime. That's why we might notice that, as we get a little older, it's sometimes a little hard to fight certain illnesses, right? For innate immunity, how do you know that it's working? Any fever or inflammation is an indication that your innate immunity is working. Adaptive immunity, it's basically antibodies in your body that really helps, attack those specific intruders. As I said, it's actually a multi-layer defense system, and this one reacts instantly, whereas the other one learns and adapts over your lifetime. Make sense? Okay. So the third layer that we discussed is that GALT, the gut-associated lymphoid tissue, that 70% to 80% of your immune cells residing in your gut. There are multiple layers to this GALT tissue, and it's that station where all the food that is going inside your body is being sampled. It's being tested to see if this is safe or not. not for you, right? So, it's no wonder that majority of your immune system actually resides in your gut, because believe it or not, that's the place where most of the so-called, external influences get into our system, right? Everything goes through your gut. So that's why most of the immune system actually resides in your gut. There are some layers to GALT, or gut associated lymphoid system. There is something called Peyer's patches, and it's like sampling stations all along your gut wall. It's actually inspecting or taking samples of everything that is passing through your gut, and it's actually presenting it to the immune cells that are patrolling all over. It's presenting it to the dendritic cells that actually line all through your gut, and then kind of see if this is safe. If it is not safe, it is passed on to the T cells for evaluation and for action. You also know that we have hundreds and billions or hundreds and millions of gut-friendly bacteria. Those gut-friendly microbiome also play a big role in keeping your immune system up to date. They act as friends and help, these two, the Peyer's patches and immune cells, to understand whether it's safe or not. A good analogy is, those trusted neighborhood network who can say that if some visitors are safe, some are not. So as I said, a healthy gut is like a well-staffed kitchen security team who can be on duty and decide whether the food that you are eating is safe, if something is not safe, how to handle it. So we need to make sure that our gut health is in good place, right? So what are some ways we can keep our immune system in top shape? What do you think? How can we keep our immune system in top shape? What lifestyle strategies can we employ?
Eat good food.
Yes, eat good food. What else?
Rest.
Yeah.
Sleep.
That's like the night shift,
Yes.
basically, right? Which we will
Yes.
talk about. Rest. What else?
Reducing stress.
Yes, reducing stress. Exactly, right? So that's like that peacemaker that comes into the picture, right? Yeah, reducing stress. And definitely that activity too. When you move, right, you're actually allowing blood, the circulation to increase. Thereby immune cells can be presented to all the parts of your body, so that your anything that's going around can be taken care of. So yes, how do you take care of your immune system and how do you keep your home in top shape? It's basically the pillars, the way you eat. Are you having that balanced plate? How much activity are you having? Sleep, your night shift does, even though you are sleeping, your body is still doing work to take care of, anything that needs to be discarded, to spruce up your immune cells. All of that happens during sleep, and of course, reducing stress. The peacemakers do have a job there, right? So balanced plate, I have a small tool here. If you want, these are wheels that you can turn. It's a balanced plate, and then those vegetables, the basics again, right? Fill half of your plate with vegetables, any vegetable you like. Choose at least 2 colors to be in your plate. Like today we have onions for the red color. I have celery, parsley, cucumbers, and romaine for the green color. I do have Kalamata olives for the black or the red color, and some seeds here. So bring in the variety in your plate, and those we will get into the nitty-gritties of the vitamins and the minerals that really help your immune system in the upcoming sessions. Those lean protein and plant protein do provide the building blocks for your immune system so that they can produce those B cells and the T cells and the antibodies to be able to fight those intruders. Whole grains, the fiber and the B vitamins in whole grains do help provide that steady energy and also feeds that good gut bacteria so that your immune system can be in top shape. So as an analogy, a balanced plate is really like providing the supplies for your home security closet so that it has the right mix to keep every defense system in your body up and running strong, right? So that cute little, make your plate wheel can give you some ideas on how to set up your lunch this afternoon. What's up for lunch, ladies, this afternoon? Anything planned? What's up for lunch? What do you? Yeah, what's going for lunch?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Some good air.
Air, definitely. What else? What's going on inside to spruce up your immune system, your energy? Coffee does have some caffeine in it, which can boost up your cortisol. But what else? You said tuna fish. Nice. What else? What would you add to your tuna salad?
A green salad, olives. What else? Whatever's in the cabinet.
Or in the cabinet. Yeah, that's the right way. Pantry, right? What about you, Miss?
I probably won't eat lunch today because I have a doctor's appointment right after this. But if I was going to eat lunch, it would be usually probably a piece of fruit and maybe some grain crackers like that. And I mean, it would be something quick, I might have some nuts or something to go along with it, but that's what it would be because I'd be on the go.
Okay.
If I was at home, I would do something.
Something like that.
Half a sandwich or something like that.
Yeah, whole grain sandwich with some, a portion of protein of your choice and some greens or some tomatoes on top of it, or even that tuna salad can go in between, your sandwiches if you want to. How about you, Miss Sandra? What are you planning for lunch today?
Basically, whatever the under the weather other half is feeling like having.
Oh, I see.
So
Thank you.
It's like every day's a challenge.
Okay.
How do you feel like today? Well,
Okay. So you will find out what to do once you get back home. Makes sense. So we will actually expand this slide in the upcoming sessions. We do need all of these vitamins, but the answer is not in popping supplements. It's about looking at food to make sure that you get the required vitamins. Vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and those good gut bacteria are all essential, and I have given some examples here, but we will actually expand this particular slide into a lesson in one of the sessions. And that physical activity that I mentioned, it's like the daily patrol that goes on in streets. The security guards that move, you can look at that physical activity as security guards moving through every room in your body and actually protecting and bringing in immune cells as needed. Physical activity classes anywhere from boundless to aqua swim, right? Aquatics class. We do have strength classes, we do have Pilates, so choose Tai Chi, so choose a yoga. So I'm sure I'm not covering all the classes, but choose a class that really resonates with you, that you find joy in going. Our divas are fantastic. It's a nice place to connect with co-travelers and develop some good friendships. The sweet spot is around 150 minutes per week, and this kind of boils down to 30 minutes every day. And if you go for any of the classes, it's actually an hour, and you will enjoy that class too. And anything counts as physical activity, as simple as walking outside, getting the vitamin sunlight and enjoying the green out there, even if it's a little hot. Getting your walk early in the morning or in the evening also counts. Swimming, we do have aquatics classes. Cycling, I know one of our divas does have a cycling team, I think once in a month. Dancing, we do have salsa fit, I think, right? That caters to dancing. So anything that gets your heart pumping a little bit and helps you feel better. Physical activity does helps with reducing that inflammation, the chronic inflammation, so that any false alarms need not happen. Again, it helps with gut health and flushes out any bacteria from your lungs and even from your gut, right? So if you need more reasons, go and do your research. But as simple as, just walk, even walking inside your home is totally fine, right? And even if you have a stationary bike, that also counts. And coming to the night shift, that sleep, right, at night, when you get a good night's sleep, around 7 to 9 hours of sleep really boosts your infection fighting antibodies, keeps it strong. Your immune cells actually get a recharge, just like a battery needs a recharge, and your inflammation levels stay regulated. So be curious about your evening routine, right? Sleep is actually a transition from the daytime hustle and bustling to much more calming, calming routine, right? So how does your evening routine look like? What do you do after 5 o'clock? Is that TV really helping you fall asleep? Asking those curious questions to really calm yourself down so that you can get that good amount of 7 to 9 hours of sleep and wake up in the morning really recharged, and in the due course are actually recharging your immune cells as well. When you have poor sleep, less than 6 hours, we sometimes think that we can actually live on 4 to 5 hours of sleep. That's not right. Poor sleep actually leads to more infections. You're 3 to 4 times more likely to catch a cold. Chronic inflammation increases, and that recovery from any illnesses take longer. So make sure that you get a good night's sleep. Work on your evening routine. Make sure that you have a good transition from the hustle and bustling of the day to a calming routine in the evening, so that your mind and body can rest and relax, right? So that's the idea there. And as our diva correctly pointed out, it's like that night shift that is still going on. It does the maintenance, and if you skip it, cracks start showing up here and there, right? And the peacemaker, keeping the stresses down. There is like a whole cascade of biochemical reaction that gets started when you are on that constant fight or flight, right? So it's very important to keep your stress levels down. Have something to really calm yourself down at the end of the day. Some of us like journaling, some of us like stretching, some of us just like listening to music, some of us likes reading. So whatever resonates with you, make sure to calm down at the end of the day so that your cortisol comes down, and that actually signals your melatonin to go up, right? We really don't need an extra melatonin supplement to fall asleep. We can actually train our body to find that restful sleep at night, and you don't have to be in that constant fight or flight. Meditation, we do have meditation classes. Simple deep breathing, Google is your friend. Search for deep breathing exercises. Even 5 minutes of deep breathing can help lower your cortisol and calm down inflammation. Social connection plays a big role. Evening meals, having together, being with friends and family and enjoying an evening meal, or even going for those evening Thrival classes where we have the opportunity to do with other divas, also helps in boosting those immune markers. And as I said, time in nature, time in sunlight, time out in green, as less as 20 minutes has been shown to reduce those cortisol hormones, stress hormones, so that your body can actually spruce up its immune system. So managing stress isn't just about feeling better, it really strengthens your immune system so that you can stay free of any colds, flu, anything that's going around, right? So make sure that you have a calming routine that's in place that helps you actually calm down from any fight or flight, okay? So your immune cheat sheet, there are multiple layers. The innate immunity is something that you are born with. These are the first responders. They are always on duty. They are there to go up in full gear anytime they see an intruder. Your adaptive immune system is that second layer where your specialist team comes in. It learns, it adapts, and it remembers every intruder that comes in. Your gut associated lymphoid tissue is the place where 70 to 80% of your immune system resides. It's like your security team headquarters. And then lifestyle matters. Eating better, meaning, you know, that balanced plate every meal as much as possible. Sleeping, moving often in a way that brings you joy, in a way that is meaningful to you, sleeping enough, all these really helps keep your immune system strong. Another analogy that I want you to, you know, take away here is look at the immune system like a medieval castle. Right? Any of those castles do have walls. There is that, you know, water out there with crocodiles running in. So you can look at the walls as that innate immune system, the water or the moat, I think, as the innate immune system. You do have the guards and the knights who can act as white blood cells. You can look at these protective towers as adaptive immunity because they're always on the lookout and they can learn from what's happening. So another cool way to look at your immune system. And just to reiterate one more time, all the 4 pillars do matter. What you eat, how you eat also matters. Are you calming down before you eat? Are you, you know, setting aside your electronics away when you are eating? Are you taking at least 15 to 20 minutes to really enjoy your meal? That is also very, very, very important. And all through, you know, couple of sessions this month, I'll be actually drilling down into nutrition and the other 4 pillars of lifestyle to make sure that you are supporting your immune system. Any questions? Any insights? Okay. Are you ready to cook for today? Let's do it. So today is mashed chickpea salad. What does this require? Prep time is only 5 minutes, and any of us can definitely take out 5 minutes from our day to prepare good food. Total time is around 10 minutes, and you can have this as lunch, dinner, snack side. And this recipe is for 2 servings. So if you are preparing for 4 people, just double the portion, double the ingredients, and you will be able to cater to any number of people. What does it ask for? 15 ounce of canned chickpeas, drained and rinsed. I did drain and rinse 1 15-ounce can of chickpeas. Half lemon juiced and zest. I have 2 lemons here. I have juiced it and I have also placed the zest inside it for convenience for today. 1 tablespoon olive oil. I know I forgot to get olive oil, but you know, please put the olive oil when you are making it at home. 2 tablespoons of Kalamata olives, pitted and chopped. half a cup of celery. I'm sure you all know that I am a person, I love convenience. So I really bought the chopped celery, which is available in HEB, or else, you know, there are choppers these days that are available. You can just put inside it and press with your hand and you get chopped celery there. Quarter cup of red onions, 1 tablespoon fresh parsley, salt and pepper to taste. I have actually sprinkled salt and pepper here. 3 tablespoons of sunflower seeds. That's all it calls for. Okay. So I am going to get started. I did wash my hands before the class. The olives, celery, onion, parsley are all chopped. Zest and juice the lemon, done. Drain and rinse the chickpeas. So that goes into the mixing bowl, and then add lemon juice. How much of lemon juice? Half a lemon juice, right? So could be 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of lemon juice there. What else? 2 tablespoons of Kalamata olives. Anybody here likes olives or no olives person? All fine? Okay. So chickpeas are actually rich in protein, in fiber, in, you know, vitamins, minerals. They actually support your immune health. Lemon, I did put 2 tablespoons there. It's high in vitamin C and definitely helps with your immune health. Go ahead.
It says here to mash the chickpeas. Do you mash them before you add all that stuff, or will it matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, totally. It doesn't matter. So olives, you can, you know, mince them even more, but let's be okay with that much. Half a cup of celery. Anybody who doesn't like celery here? All good? Okay. Half a cup of celery. Want to close the lemon. Celery is high in fiber, good for your gut, helps with your bowel patterns too, and really helps those gut bacteria get the required yumminess that they need to thrive. What else? Quarter cup of red onions. If you don't like red onions, you can also buy green onions, yellow onions, whatever you like, okay? Onions are high in quercetin, which really helps calm down any inflammation going on in your body. Of course, it helps with flavors too, right? So what is food without flavor? So quarter cup of red onions. 1 tablespoon of fresh parsley. If you like cilantro, that's fine too. Parsley is an herb, and all herbs do have bioactives in them. So 1 tablespoon of fresh parsley. This parsley is minced. And then salt and pepper to taste. I had put all of that inside the lemon juice. I'm going to add some sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are high in vitamin E. It's a nice snack to have too. High in healthy fats and does add to the crunchiness and the flavor. I did not mention cucumbers there, but you can actually add any vegetable you like. You can add grated carrots. You can add avocados for the smoothness, right? Again, high in fiber, the vitamin, minerals, or the creaminess. I think that's the word I was looking for. You can add, bless you, you can add hard boiled eggs for extra protein and choline and everything that hard boiled eggs or eggs have. So you can actually spruce up this recipe any way you like, right? It can be as creative as you want to be. Now I'm going to try and mash it. And I do have some romaine leaves here, but you can put it in between a sandwich. I have sometimes put this inside a food processor and given it a nice a turn to help it. Yeah, you can put avocado, carrots. Going to add the cucumber too. Adds to the crunchiness. It's very cooling, right, in this weather. Should be fine. Mash, mash, mash.
Oil would probably change the texture.
Yes, I forgot to get it today.
It would make it a little easier to put in there.
Mm-hmm.
A little of the olive oil.
Yes, 1 tablespoon of olive oil.
But I mean a little of the carbonara olive oil.
Yeah, that is true too. It could come out of the olive, right? Very true.
Just a splash.
Yes. And it's a good workout for your arms, right?
Thinking that.
Yeah, it's a good workout for your arms.
Watching her do that, I'm thinking, I wonder if a food processor would.
Yes, that would be better.
Except it would I guess it would change the texture and it would be pretty.
Yeah, it will be very mushy. But if you really want to have the crunch and all of that, I think sometimes this is a silicone masher. The stainless steel masher could be much. Yeah, that might make the job a little bit easier. But I don't have to do my arms today. Almost done.
You make your own hummus.
I do. I think last class series we did hummus in a food processor. It's pretty easy and the taste is so different from what you buy at the store. We can make it again this time. All you need is the canned chickpeas, some olive oil, salt, a little bit of pepper, some red pepper flakes if you like a little bit of, that underlying heat, yeah. And olive oil, and that's it.
You don't put lemon juice in it?
You can also put tahini too a little bit. Tahini is the one that brings in the creaminess, plus the calcium and all of that. Can I have a plate, Rosie? Thank you very much for coming and enjoy your chickpea salad.